So we could go back as soon as they introduced the main villain. I already forgot his name again.
Tsukasa.
Sagat. Yeah. So as soon as they introduced him, I'll be a little fanboy about this. That was so crazy how they brought him in. They brought him in because they needed someone to fight against lions. Because like out of nowhere, oh hey yeah, I'm awake, my friend's awake, we're building stuff. Let's go get the girlfriend. Wait, we can't get the girlfriend. She's gonna be naked. I'm like, oh my god, this is so silly. What's gonna happen? Shit, she's naked. They're not gonna bring her back because she's naked. They're getting chased by lions. What the fuck? Lions are still alive because lions need to eat meat. So how the hell are lions alive? And I think he questions how are some animals still alive. Because I'm thinking, out of all animals, how the hell did they bump into lions? So when they ran into the main villain, and Taiju was like, hey, this is the toughest. They called him Primeape, right? Did I read that correctly? That was so weird. I was like, why would they call him a Primeape when it was so like in the future? Like, well, not technically in the future. It was so like.
They called him a primate because of how brutally strong he was when he was doing the fighting and stuff. He was considered to be like the toughest in all the schools and everything in the fighting, so they called him like a primate. And also the fact that he didn't have too many friends. He was just a fighter the whole time, so that was very primitive of him.
Right.
He was very antisocial.
Yeah.
But then you find out that, it's because the adults, they pushed him, they beat him, they tortured him,
exactly,
into becoming this muscle man.
Yeah, exactly what I was getting into, because I want to talk a little bit about him and get opinions whether you think he's doing the right thing or not. So I really like him. I can't say I hate him at all, even though he like betrayed Senku. I really like him from the time they needed help and they're like, oh, this guy's the strongest thing, and then they revived him and he's like, what do I gotta do? Like total like freaking badass JoJo moment. What do I gotta do? Lions are chasing it. I got it. I'm like, okay, this is away from the science. This is anime now. This is where I could fanboy about it, and I totally did, because I was like, this guy automatic, like, I like his hairstyle, like how freaking cool he is. He's strong. I love it. My type of character. And and then like they introduced him to how he was gonna be totally loyal to Senku. I'm like, okay, this guy is gonna be such a badass. I was so hyped. They tricked me. I was like, this guy's gonna be such a badass to be with them. He's like, I'm in your debt forever. From now on, you'll never starve. From now on, you'll never be in. I'll protect you. Blah blah blah. So I was so happy about that. I was like, this is like they're setting us up for like a perfect team. They're never gonna die. We're gonna get the perfect Science Kingdom. Nope. He went from that. He went from protector, total strong guy, total badass, killing one punch man style, to a lion. Took the lion's coat, and he looks super cool, right? So we get to the beach. He found the guy that bullied him, who pretty much, which I don't blame him. If I was in his shoes, and that guy stopped me from taking seashells from a beach and beat the shit out of me, I would have done the absolute same thing if I was in his shoes. That is because, like, knowing where he's coming from, obviously he didn't, like, to this guy at least, he didn't just smash his head just to smash his head. It came from a sad story. Like, I mean, not that guy knew, but that guy was still trying to make money out of a kid, and it's very disgusting of humans to do stuff like that, to put a price on even little things like shells. So I can't really blame him for doing that, and I really don't. I'm on his side for doing that. But Cinco saw it as like, scum or not, you're still killing people. And the guy, the villain was like, well, this is a new era. This is a world where murder is not considered murder, like, by anybody. You don't have to be so freaked out by murder. And I'm the strongest guy here, so I could do whatever I want. I have to, like, I do agree with him. I really do. Like, that guy did him dirty. There's, like, if I had an opportunity to do something similar to a guy like that, I would have, if I wasn't born in that world, because that's so low. Like, it showed us as this poor guy who couldn't help, what was it, his sister that was sick, I think?
Yeah,
and he was trying to do the seashells and just to do something wholesome, because, like, obviously he can't get this, like, big flashy balloon set and flowers. He has to do homemade stuff because he's a poor kid. So I could see where his anger came from, because my anger would still be there too. Like, it's hard not to let go from that. So I mean, I like even so that's from the early to the very end. I can't deny what he's trying to do. He doesn't want to bring. I can't deny what he's trying to do. He doesn't want to bring back what the world was, because he doesn't want it to be controlled by politics and money hungry government people and everything. And I get that. I definitely get what he wants to do, because I mean shit, if we could like relive in a whole world where we're not controlled by money and everybody could live equally if they really wanted to, then that would be amazing. Because honestly, when they panned a few times to his village, it didn't seem like he was doing anything wrong to the people. It seemed like he was treating
Yeah,
everybody
he
equal.
was loving everybody. He was loving all the kids. He was loving
Mm-hmm.
everybody, trying to get them fed,
Yep.
trying to make sure their homes are nice.
Yeah.
So like he's being a good Samaritan basically
Right.
to all the teenagers. I mean, like some of his goons look like fucking Fist of the North Star goons. It's like
Yeah, they did.
I was like, how is that guy a teenager? Like the initial people who attacked the village the first
Oh, those
time.
guys suck.
Me and my wife were like, are those really like teenagers? Like those look like fucking buff guys. Like those look like buff like middle aged men.
Like the guy he's trying to
Like
kill.
yeah. So I was like, I don't know if those are teenagers. I mean, they might be in their early 20s. I don't know what his cutoff point is for age wise.
Yeah,
But I was like, those guys look like they're in the mid 20s at least.
definitely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like those guys suck, but then when it came back to the village, it showed a lot of cleaner people and like a nice little village going on. So I can't deny what he's trying to do, because I really liked what he's trying to do. I understand where he's trying to go, but the fanboy in the typical side of loving the main character, like in any anime, it's hard. I don't know anybody that does not like that watches anime that does not like the main character. Like, you know, not like have a huge love for him. Like, ah, yeah, Naruto die hard, but like, yeah, I really like Naruto. They set him up not to hate. Um, you know, you could like side characters more, but you're not gonna dislike the main character. So, as a typical anime watcher who's not gonna dislike Senku, because I really respect Senku and where he's coming from, I got pretty upset when he pretty much forced to steal, like he was being a bad guy at that point when he was gonna go steal the formula and make his own group. And from as soon as like Cinco like declined his like, oh yeah, let's kill all the adults, he wanted to like just make his own thing, and he needs to kill Cinco now because that's the only guy who would go against him because he could build guns. It's like I hate, that's the only like downside about the villain, is because I really like him. Like everything about him stands out so great, except the fact that he just like turned tail on. At one point, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna protect you." Oh no, sorry, let me give him a different voice. Yeah, man, I got you for the rest of my life. You'll never be starving again. To like, nah, I wanted to kill adults. You don't want to kill adults? I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man, that sucks. Because like, it was such a like. I get what he's trying to do. I thought they're gonna take it like in there's multiple stories I've seen in animes. I can't think of an anime right now, but there's multiple stories in animes that I've thought about it where he was going like, okay, you know what? Yeah, Cinco's declining his ways of life by killing the adults and trying to make a new life, but I thought he was gonna stay part of the group and just like slowly inch away and slowly doing his own thing. But they're like, no, let's cut that whole thing off and make him the villain and just throw him into his own village and continue killing other people and recruiting his own teenagers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's what me and my wife were also when we first watched him. We were just like, oh, he's too good. And the fact that he's drawn the way that he was, it's like we already hinted that, okay, you know, this guy is gonna have to be the villain because
Really?
they haven't come in contact with like anybody else.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're giving him so much storyline, we're like, okay, this is gonna be the Sasuke of the group, but he's not
Pretty
gonna
much.
come back.
Yeah.
And like the way that he had, like how you're saying that, you know, okay, you know, you kind of understand where he's coming from because there's, you know, so much anger that he had growing up as a child. And you know, I get that some adults can be scum and whatnot, but at the same time, like how like Sanku is thinking, he's not thinking that he wants to save all these scums. he just wants to save essentially the whole world.
Yeah.
Like he's basically trying to say like all lives matter in the sense that like, you know, to him everybody who's stuck in stone, he wants to just free them.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be bad, they'll be bad. That's what society is there for. Like
that's the balance of life.
They'll weed themselves out eventually, but what his goal is he just wants to free everybody again.
Exactly.
Like nobody deserves to be stuck in stone.
No.
And like Tsukasa is just like, no, 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 I want to be selective. He wants to play like, you know, the hand of God by being like, okay, so you're a good Samaritan, you're a good Samaritan. I remember you have a little bit of a douchebag in you, so I'm just going to destroy you. Yeah. So he just went on a legit killing spree by killing all the adults and saving people, like saving stone statues to the side to revive.
Yeah.
And so like he has his little utopia in his head, but he also doesn't know that, okay, there's also other people who are living in this time period. Like he didn't know that there was that village over there. So he goes, oh great, that village has adults. Of course it has adults. Like, Tsukasa, you're going to be an adult here in a couple of years too. So what are you going to do? Kill yourself?
Kill yourself or pass down your title?
Corn?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to do that. So, I mean, like, I agree to what he's trying to do, but I don't think he needs to go kill every adult. Because it's like, you don't know what they've done. Just because they're an adult, they're not bad people. I get what he's trying to do, tries to start from afresh, because the youth have more of a newer brain, and they can learn what's right and wrong, and we could create something else. But it's like, you are, like Cinco said, you are a murderer. You're killing a lot of people at this point. It's hard because like I really like him. I really like the Tarzan in him. He literally looked like Tarzan. Yeah. But I really liked him. It's just it's so unfortunate that they like made him the bad guy. But it's like I guess me saying that makes tells them that they're doing the right job by making him a villain.
Yeah, like they did an excellent job giving you some sympathy for the villain in this show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time you're like, oh, that's the villain. Okay, well, I hope he kicks your ass. I hope you get your ass beat.
Yeah.
There is no like, oh, I want to feel something for him. No, it's like, well, you know what? I kind of agree with what this guy's doing. He's like the next Thanos. Like, you know, like he's just crueling the world, shaping it into like something that it sounds better, but the way that he's going about doing it is horrific.
Yeah.
And like it's just like it's about time that you have some sympathy for, you know, a villain.
Yeah, I agree. No, they did him right, man. Because like yeah, sympathy, like you said it yourself, sympathy. That's I mean I still feel for him. But then like it seems like they just gave up on that, and now they're just making him this total douchebag because well the only douchey thing about him is he's actually trying to kill that other village, and he's not giving up on that other village.
Yeah, he's trying to kill the village. He finds out Senku's alive, but at the same time, he's like, you're giving him too much of an evil agenda. Like, they show him where he's good to the village people that he has, and all the kids that are around him. They show him as like, oh, okay, there's the lovable guy that we found out in the very beginning, and yet he has this like cave of badass people. And you're like, whoa, like, what is that, like his secret police or something? like how good is his village? Is his village really that fucking good, or is everybody just scared for their life there?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's true. So I guess that's what's gonna be nice about going to the Stone Wars in season 2, if it even happens, because that now we have a whole village we need to know about his village. We're gonna get introduced to all his characters and what's going on. Maybe they're gonna be quick about it because they're pretty good at being quick about things, or they're gonna give him a whole season. Who knows? So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I hope that the Stone Wars, they'll have like a nice OVA, and then they'll have like, you know, hopefully another 24 episode season.
I think they
like
will.
that would be fantastic for me.